Muscle Bomber the Body Explosion, also known as Saturday Night Slam Masters in the West, is a 1993 pro wrestling arcade game released for the Capcom CPS system. The game features character designs by manga artist Tetsuo Hara of Fist of the North Star fame. Muscle Bomber plays like a traditional wrestling game, using a 3-button configuration: grab, attack, and jump. Each character has 2 special attacks, a non-grappling technique and a finisher. When an opponent's life meter is depleted, he must either be pinned for a 3-second count or forced to submit. Defeating all of the other wrestlers results in winning the championship belt, which must then be defended against the entire roster. You may have also noticed that the game features Hagar from Final Fight. Nice. Capcom ported Muscle Bomber to the Super Famicom at the end of March 1994, less than a year after it hit the arcades. The port on first glance looks really good, thanks to the title screen looking very similar to the arcade and sounding fairly close too. Then we get into the game and notice that the gameplay window is actually really small. I've zoomed in on it for this footage, but this is how it really looks. Yeah, not so great. Still, despite the small playing area, the game does retain all of the moves and characters of the arcade version, and most importantly, the Team Battle Royale, which does actually support up to 4 players, just like the arcade original, as long as you own a multi-tap. Sadly, the Super Famicom port is missing a crapload of animation, as to be expected, and it does slow down quite a bit when you have 4 massive sprites on screen. Still, it is a fairly impressive port for its time. Capcom also ported Muscle Bomber to the Mega Drive, however it was never released in Japan, which is why this version is called Saturday Night Slam Masters. It also mixes around the stages and changes a few names. Now how about the actual game? As you can see, it is also presented in a small screen, just like the Super Famicom version. However, this time there is more animation per character and no slowdown. The Mega Drive port also allows you to select Scorpion and Jumbo for the single battle mode. Other ports don't allow this. On the negative side though, the audio is generally awful, besides a few decent tunes here and there. The biggest problem with this port, however, is the lack of the Battle Royale mode. Instead, we get the Versus mode, which is basically a 2-player mode, and a 2-player deathmatch mode. Why, Capcom? Finally, we have the FM Towns release. In many ways, this is better than the other ports thanks to its arcade level graphics, improved soundtrack, various resolution options, and Q-Sound support. Sadly, it's let down in many other areas. The gameplay is perfectly fine, however it is lacking any game modes. What we have here is the arcade experience and that's it. No Battle Royale or Deathmatch modes here. There's also a disappointing lack of animation in the crowds. The Mega Drive and Super Famicom have animated crowds, so why not the FM Towns? A lazy port perhaps? And let's take a look at all those versions of Muscle Bomber running side by side.